special delivery.
My first inspiration to guitar playing was the first Van Halen album. I was a kid when it came out, and Eddie Van Halen made me realize this is what I wanted to do most of my life. As my hobby, that's what I've done, is played live music. It's got nothing to do with making money as a musician. It's just a real, I love music, I love playing music, and the ultimate high is playing music live in front of a bunch of people. So. Another friend of mine got me a part-time job in a funeral home when I was in my late teens. And I actually finished high school, and I realized I was going to have to go back to school for something if I was going to advance my career. And my mom actually suggested that if I'm going to go back to school, why don't I go back and be a funeral director, because I really enjoyed my part-time job at the funeral home. So I thought about it. I thought, yeah, you know what, maybe I will do that. So it took me 2 times to get into the program, but once I got enrolled, I've never looked back. I've been in business now for over 30 years. I take a great deal of pleasure in looking after these folks, finding out what they need, and looking after putting it all together for them. November of 2012, I discovered that I had some lumps in my neck. I didn't know what they were. I had a cold at the time, so I thought maybe I had swollen glands. By the time Christmas came around, my cold was gone, but the lumps weren't gone. So after checking in with the doctor and several different kinds of tests, it was finally determined that I had squamous cell carcinoma. I had a tumor on my lymph node and a tumor on my tonsil. 35 radiation treatments that began in March, and 3 chemotherapies. My hair didn't completely fall out, but the radiation was focused in my head, so there was patches of it that fell out. So I ended up shaving most of it off. I kept a mohawk, dyed it blonde. And there was a bunch of guys, my son included, organized a fundraising event, the band I played in at the time, and it was one of the most intense nights of my life to sit in the audience watching my son play guitar in my role in Summer House. And all these people came out to help me out. 5 years later, I've been deemed cancer-free. Ron Wilson and his wife Charlene 3 years ago organized the very first Crankin' It for Kids with Cancer show. Ron had heard Tailgate play at a local place and liked us, and he approached and asked if we'd be interested in performing for his very first Crankin' It show. We donated our show for that cause, and it was hugely successful. A lot of people came out, a lot of silent auction items. Ron raised a lot of money for local families with cancer. I wanted to get more involved in just play music, so I decided I was going to see if I could grow my hair. When you get old, it gets hard to grow your hair, but I started in March of 2016, so it's 27 months that I've been growing my hair. I think a lot of people thought maybe I was having a midlife crisis, but my boss at Weavers was fantastic when I told him what I was really up to. It was January of this year that I announced officially that the reason my hair was getting so long is I was going to fundraise, raise money to help the cause. All the money I raise actually is going through an organization that's headed by Evelyn Wilson, and it's Cheers Mean Love. So every bit of money that I raise in being sponsored to grow my hair goes directly to local families that have a child with cancer. All the money I raise goes towards that. I set my goal in January when I announced to the world why I was growing my hair at $1,000. And today's the day of the show. Today's the day of the locks coming off. And as of right now, I think I'm at about $2,200. So I've more than doubled what I had set out to do. So. think I just woke up one morning and realized this is something I need to be involved with, and I need to be more than just a musician donating my time. I wanted to do whatever I could, and I got so much help when I was sick that now it's my turn, and I feel great doing it.